Hello! Welcome back to your side quest. We hope your week was great, especially after the riveting week we had, and we are excited for our road ahead. The milestone of 10 side quest episodes completed, and the thrilling episode of Descent into Home's End we had. This week, I believe we should slow it down and talk about something less exciting. Don't you guys agree? Psych!
Yes.
This week we want to talk about our experience with pre-made adventures, and we would love to know your experiences with them as well. Now, I think I can speak for most of us when I say our experiences have been less than adequate for most of the time, especially if I'm running them.
What are you talking about?
We cut to the 5 takes of Icewind Dale. Salt.
I had fun
three.
even though we died. Like,
Hey, editor, can you put up a
at the
picture,
end.
like In's mouth?
It's not about the ending, it's about the journey.
Yeah, the journey.
About the journey we had along the way, and the friends we made along the way.
Yeah.
Well, I think you guys should have some fun listening to us ramble about the pre-made adventures that we've taken part in. Let's just start. What's everyone's favorite pre-made adventure? Like, what has everyone's favorite been so far? I think, speaking for myself, I've loved Saltmarsh. I love Saltmarsh. I love the pirate
You should run it.
aesthetic. No.
What?
I love the pirate aesthetic that Saltmarsh has, being a port town. There's naval combat, tons of cool, like, spooky pirate ghost stuff.
Do you even know what happens in Saltmarsh? Because we die in the first session. Every time. Every single time.
We made it pretty far.
I haven't.
I made it to
haven't been
the
here.
lizard folk
Have
place.
we?
You have not.
And then we died.
Maybe last like 3 sessions.
We made it to a place filled with lizard folk. We were trying to make peace between them and the town of Saltmarsh. And in doing so, we had to go and fight a big monster of the lake, which I think was a crocodile.
Yeah, it was a
And the crocodile killed all of us.
Mhm.
I think if we try it again, it'll
You guys
work.
didn't make it past chapter 1.
I think next.
I'm
I think
pretty
this,
sure,
this the
I'm
one.
pretty
This the
sure
one.
that
I just wanna
was,
play it.
Tossed into the sea. And we
I haven't
don't
played
do
it, and I
anymore.
want to.
And you never will. It's
Well,
cursed.
Want to.
It's literally
You
in the
played a
name.
single character?
I had a character, and the session I was going to come in, you all died.
Yeah, there's been
Yippee!
there's been some great characters in Saltmarsh. I really think that added to the allure of it. Now, there's obviously other pre-made adventures that I think are probably that we've run that have 100% gone better, but I think Saltmarsh might, for me personally, I like the vibe of it a lot.
Nose gone, by the way.
No.
My window is open. You could probably hear a car go in the background.
Well,
I'm gonna do this.
I have my window closed, so I won't be doing that this episode.
Good. I did it for you.
Are you sure?
Well, speaking of doing it for me, Noah, since you like doing stuff for me, how about you answer the question for me?
Well, I'm known to love horror. We got a quote all about that. And I think the best the best pre-made would be Curse of Strahd. Because I'm really good at playing around with that vibe. I was the one who DM'd that. And Strahd is a great villain. Like Home's End, you're never really safe when you're in his domain. And he always has spies or the creatures of the woods watching you. And even when you go to a town and you think that town's going to be the hope for safety, it doesn't turn out the way you expect. And there's so much we haven't even gotten to in Strahd, like the Amber Giants and the Druids. But I also love the fact that there's tarot cards, and the adventure you go and talk to Madame Ava, and she pulls out where all the special items are. I think it's just really fun.
Favorite. That's my favorite.
You going back to Barovia, boys?
But it'll be the third time for them. First time they died to werewolves, unfortunately. Yeah, I made a mistake there because I don't think the werewolves would actually have killed them. Well, they might have, so it kind of works out. But when they got back, the second time, I think we just we lost a few players and we never went back to it.
I only played the one.
Yeah, Samara. Well, I guess it was a third time that we tried to run it, but they never actually got into Barovia. That was when Ryan, whose generous ass, gave me Van Richten's, and we did the one shot from there, or the prelude.
Oh, Vikolash, dude, Vikolash goes hard.
Mm.
He was a Vistani. Yeah. I played a Vistani for that session.
Oh, I want to play it again so bad.
Me too.
It was great, and Noah really captures it. Really captures it with Strahd. Definitely one of the highlights, I think, of my D&D career has been playing it. Like that first time we played through Strahd, I went through like 5 different characters, but I really I like the one that I landed on and ended on, even though it didn't really work out the way I wanted to. Tried the heroic last stand, but the party stayed and died with him instead.
Yeah, you're playing a paladin, a light, and a paladin's really good in Curse of Strahd because there's a lot of undead, and paladins kind of excel with that. But he had a moment when he went to a church in one of the major cities, and he tried to get everybody on his side, but he did that by kind of intimidating them and being, I forget what you said, but it was a very probably like lawful evil, or it was not a good thing to do. And I was like, because of this, your paladin status is going to be affected, and you lost your dark vision, which I thought was very interesting. Because imagine, since you were born, you've been able to see in the dark. That's never been an issue for you, and all of a sudden it's stripped away.
Yeah, he was a great character. Plenty of flaws, plenty of positives. Let's hop over to Halia. What's your favorite pre-made bin so far?
If it wasn't obvious, also Strahd. We love Vampire Man.
Is there any aspects about Strahd that kind of stick out to you, or
apart from it being vampires? I love that gothic Van Helsing vibe. Very good.
Yeah, the gothic vibe. I love that shit too.
I want to play it again so bad. Noah?
Yeah, your character is super interesting for that one shot.
I love
my there's character. There's a new like set of I don't want to spoil too much, but there was a new set of monsters in the book. And yeah, your Hallie's character in Van Richten's guide, that is, and how Hallie's character had something to do with it. It was a sect.
Didn't even know. Yeah, my first character for that was Ass. But Samara is great, and I never really got into her. I never got to play her.
Yeah, that was going to be interesting.
Yeah, that party was kind of stacked with very interesting characters, I think. Yeah, I agree. The vibe of Strahd is so picturesque, very Castlevania. I fucking love Castlevania so much.
Yeah, Van Helsing.
Yeah, it's just
Castlevania, Interview with a Vampire.
It really, and I cannot stress this enough. Noah captures it very well when he DMs. It's very really gets in there. And the Taroka reading, that was fucking awesome when Noah pulled up the tarot cards and he read that for us. And oh my god, the theorizing that comes with Strahd, especially if you know nothing, there's so much so you can just be like, what if it's like this and like that. I had a shit ton of like harebrained theories. I was just spitting off every chance I could, and
one of them was surprisingly correct. I'll never say which one, yeah, but he was like Strahd's a witch. He's like something, and one of them I was like, hold on.
And the worst
wait a minute.
I'll never
hear my notes.
Yeah, I'll never fucking know which ones are real or like true because all of them were so outlandish that it's like, what the fuck could they be?
God, it's like no, it's like Jonas with the when he was trying to figure out Walter.
Yeah, the fucking.
The what?
Yeah,
I might have to go to that.
I heard some static for a second.
Yeah, sorry.
The stretch of.
Oh, we might get into that in probably a few episodes in Home's End. So yeah, stay tuned.
Since we still got a little bit of time, maybe we just talk a little bit about.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Alyssa ran away from her chair and booked it.
Yeah.
I don't see any smoke, so I think she's probably fine.
Yeah, no, she had to run to the store real quick.
She had to skedaddle.
Oh, she's back.
Oh, she walked back into frame? Hello?
I apologize.
Perfect. Just on time for you to answer this question.
We were just talking about you.
What's your favorite pre-made band?
My ears were ringing.
That's not good. Yeah, my ears are ringing too.
It's a storm that came in. What's your favorite pre-made band?
Strahd. Strahd has Strahd has a special place in my heart. It was the first D&D campaign I ever played. Back in the days. Dragon.
Yeah, I have a funny little story. If when you're done.
Little story. Now I'm intrigued. I didn't really have much to say other than I really enjoyed playing it and I want to play it again.
I'm sure someday we'll get back to it.
It's funky.
I'm also curious, like, what aspects of Strahd really really got you to be like, that's my favorite. Like, obviously, there's a certain nostalgia. There's definitely a certain nostalgia for, like, this is the first kind of D&D experience that you've had, so it's gonna be that you've got that golden filter over it. I feel like it's hard to not have a golden filter over Strahd. Like, it's so good. But what kind of like captures you when you think of Strahd?
To be honest, I don't remember a lot that happened in Strahd because it was only like a few sessions and it happened like a long ass time ago.
Yeah.
But the parts I do remember, like I remember having a somewhat good interaction with everyone we were playing with, which I thought I wouldn't because this was the first time I was ever doing something like this. And then and then the story was cool as well from what I remember. It had like that spooky mystical side to it, which is right up my shit. So yeah.
Well,
I don't have much to elaborate other than big vampire lord cool.
Maybe Noah's story will spark something for you.
For real?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Well, because what I do is whenever I run a pre-made or any sort of session, is I do I guess for mostly pre-mates, I do a little one-shot where the characters meet up outside of Barovia, and I plan out a little like adventure for them. And in this one, they were in a big manse created by an artificer, and he'd invited them all to dinner, and it was to show off all this strange contraptions he made, and just to get favor with everybody in town. So they had dinner. It was great. They went over to the ballroom, and they started to have a good time. Music was playing. The chandelier was shining above. There was a big fireplace in the back. It's nice and cozy. But then all of a sudden, people started dropping. Just in the middle of the dance, they just started like keeling over and hitting the ground. And everybody was like, what the fuck's going on? And a few people, specifically those who didn't eat, were like, oh, my chest is starting to hurt. What's going on? Turns out that the entire room was filling with some sort of like smoke, or like carbon dioxide kind of smoke, and it was slowly killing everybody. But from the food they had eaten before, it was preventing them from feeling any damage. Because they had much higher health than everybody else, they saw everybody falling over, and they were like, something's going on here. And everybody was freaking out, trying to figure out a way out of the room. People were dropping left and right, and every like, I believe I had a timer going, and every 12 seconds or so, I would go, you lose 1 HP. You lose 1 HP. And it was a slow countdown as people were trying to get their way out. I remember, I think you said this, Alyssa, where you were sitting there in shock, just marking down your HP. And you were like, this is the funnest thing I've ever done.
I remember.
Yeah, I think you said that. You were like, I'm having a blast, and you were just marking down 1 HP, -1. It was so tense, right? Everybody was freaking out, trying to figure a way out.
Funny. I have no memory. I remember like something like that happening where like we were losing HP and you had the timer and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember saying
I wasn't here for that.
Yeah, I think I remember something like that.
So funny. That sounds like something I would say.
Yeah,
Oh, that's terrifying,
real
though.
kooky.
I remember
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
no.
one shot was
That was a great little prelude, I think.
Mhm.
I remember
I
the
could
first.
probably. Oh, go on.
Oh, okay. I remember the first Curse of Strahd thing that we did. I remember. I don't, but I do. But I remember
Hmm.
us having like this crazy fucking fight with like animated books or some shit.
Mhm.
And
Oh,
I think that
Yeah,
was like the first combat I did, and I was like, I had so much
Yeah.
fun just throwing fire bolts at everything.
you lit a library
Yeah.
on fire, and I remember because you were caught behind this huge wall of fire, and Jonas's character was like, well, I can't leave them in there, because there's another he who shall not be named. His character was also stuck in there.
Should've left
So
him.
Jonas's character ran in and saved the
they
both
did
of you.
leave him.
No, he saved the both of them.
Oh.
Did he? I don't know if he did, because I think he played a different
I don't
character moving
remember.
forward.
No, it was the typical stereotype.
He definitely
character
played a
play.
different character.
He played a-
That character
Did
died
he?
at some point.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, the character that so got saved from the library, but he died further into the mansion because I remember he played that big dumb half orc for the gibbering mouther fight.
Yeah, real.
So he did get
Yep.
saved.
Yeah, I can probably because I wrote that entire thing in band class.
Hell yeah.
I remember having my big notebook on the fucking like music stand, and I have the entire house outlined with blueprints and everything. I could probably take a picture and show that up.
Cool.
Yeah, it's very in depth, and it still startles me how much effort went into that little one shot that I made.
I'll say this: I definitely noticed it that like in high school when we'd run these sorts of things, the amount of effort that we put into like the passion that we put into this kind of stuff was completely. I feel like completely outshines the kind of the work that I noticed I put in at least in my work today. Like I'd be like, okay, guys, let's run a one shot on Friday. I'll run it, and then for a week leading up to it, I would just fucking like I'd write like fucking 15 pages, blueprints of every buildings, and then like the one shot would just be go kill this one dude. Like that's the type of. But there was so much effort I put into like just that little bit, and nowadays I'm like, okay, we'll do a one shot. I don't put any effort into it. I'm like, here's like the go kill that guy.
It all depends.
Yeah.
You need something to catch you. I feel like to get that creativity bug going.
I think it probably has something to do with the fact that like high school, we literally all we did was play D&D. Like I'm talking, we were playing like 3 to 4 times a week. It was fucking crazy.
Good old days. Yeah, we played it all the time. Whenever we could, really.
Yeah, after school, we'd all meet up in the foyer and then go play.
I missed the glory days.
You did. Those were some good days.
I still think we're in a portion of the glory days.
Oh, I think the D&D that we play now is way better than the D&D we played back then. I'm not saying the effort that we put in was better than what we do now. I'm just saying the amount of work that we pour into this
we have more time.
is so much more astounding. Because I think nowadays when we play these things, they're way better. But back in the day, you catch us fucking like any chance we got during the day, marking this shit down. Like again, it's not to say that it was better. In fact, I think
also don't be intimidated about hearing us fucking write all this big shit and putting so much effort into these one shots or whatever. Because I literally ran a Call of Cthulhu one shot that I made on the spot. It probably took up like a page, and it was the one where the hunter was trying to get you all in a mansion, and I thought that went pretty well, even though it was fucking. I was just like, fuck it, let's just go crazy. I wrote one page.
Yeah, some of the best one shots and some of the best D&D sessions in general are completely improv. So this is not to say that you need to pour effort into everything that you do. Of course, effort's always appreciated, but as long as your heart's in it, your spirit's in it, that's all that counts, right? If you're having fun, who cares?
Be passionate about the things you do and create.
That's the first penance, dude. But let's move on to the next question because I feel like we've yapped on this one for enough. What's the most exciting moment from a pre-made?
I even ran away during it.
Yeah, she had enough time to leave. The sun's set since we started. What's everyone's
Going to work back.
What's the most exciting moment you can picture from a pre-made that you can kind of remember? I'm just gonna I'll start us off because I feel like give you guys some time to think. The fight. So I ran Icewind Dale spoilers ahead for anybody who's playing in it. Maybe don't listen. It starts now. I'm about to start talking about it. Zordarok Sunblight is a minor antagonist in Icewind Dale, and his entire thing is he's collecting Shardlin to make a Shardlin dragon. Now, I felt his stat sheet was a little bit lackluster, and I really wanted that fight to be something more special. So I took inspiration from a Reddit post that I saw. I had the similar problem where they were like, the stat sheet's kind of lame, and I was wondering how to spice up that fight, and they were like, well, I put a Shardlin Golem down there, and I was like, Shardlin Golem could be cool. And Zardarok has a crown that represents every son that he had, and there's like 3 left. And they killed one of his sons, so I was like, how cool would it be if he put his son inside of a big Shardlin Golem? And that fight, I can picture it in my head so vividly, where Zardarok grew 3 times his size, the same size as the golem you guys were fighting, and you could see that like dangling body in the golem. And you fought it. It was one of the most intense fights I think I've ever seen you guys like do, and it made me so proud of you guys the way you handled it. In fact, I think it was Jonas's character that noticed like that's the weak spot to the golem is that hanging body. That's how you guys took it down. Is you destroyed the body and the golem crumbled, and it was just really you guys were really intuitive for that fight, and it filled me with a lot of joy seeing that you guys enjoyed the fight as well. But that was the most exciting moment I can remember. In fact, I think
I definitely remember that.
I think it was more exciting than the Shardlin Dragon fight, which was the highlight of that chapter. At least it was supposed to be. So let's hop over to Alyssa before she runs away again.
I gotta go, guys.
No, my butt is glued to this chair now. You have my full attention. I don't know. I might need more time.
All right. Well,
that's fair. We'll
who
step it.
I'm gonna.
What's the question?
I have a kind of goofy one.
The most exciting moment you can remember from a pre-made.
Okay. Moment. Doesn't have to be.
It's not really exciting, but it's one that I treasure deep in my heart. It's one that I have spoilers for Strahd. It's core memory in my brain. Okay. And it's during Strahd.
Let's go.
That was mine.
The Strahdcast right now.
Yeah, the Strahdcast. They had allied themselves with a little band of were-ravens. These people who could transform themselves into ravens or raven hybrids. And they were kind of outcasts. Although they still kept in touch with the other fellow were-ravens. Also spoilers for Strahd, by the way. I should have just said this. There's a bunch of were-ravens, and they're all like spies, and they try to root out Strahd, and they try to help those who come into town. And this was a homebrew thing, by the way. It was a little burrow these 3 were-ravens had made, and they were tied to a player character who I actually allowed to play a were-raven. And in the middle of this, another figure showed up, a figure they had met before during an encounter with Strahd, and everybody thought that he had been captured. And you were like, "Oh my God, is he okay? We should wake him up and see what's going on." And they woke him up. He was like, "Oh my God, I can't be here. He knows he can track me. I can't be here." And he ran out. And immediately everybody was like, "Fuck, Strahd's on his way. We gotta go. And everybody started booking their way back to Vallaki. And it's such a small moment, but Hannah's character, she was playing a monk, and she was the fastest in the party. And she rushed her way back to the walls of Vallaki. And she was moving so fast that she almost planted face first into the wall. I remember she had like slid and like dragged her feet on the ground to try to stop herself. And I made the motion of like her feet digging in the dirt and just stopping right in front of the wall. And I forget who it was, but one of you was like, "That is such a cool that's such a cool gesture that you made. Wow, amazing!" And just whoever said that, it was like, "Thank you. You made my fucking day."
Real recognize real.
Yeah, it was just that little slide, and I mimicked it, and they were like, "Wow, that was perfect the way you did that." And I was like, "Oh my god, thank you."
Oh my god, thanks.
I wish I remembered that.
And that's what I'm saying. It was something so small, but it really stuck with me
Yeah.
because of the compliment. I think it was the first ever where somebody's been like, "That was fucking great." It was just somebody like doing like a cartoon like stop, so we didn't smack it face first into a wall.
That's funny.
That reminds me of the goggle noise incident.
Yeah, Arvid's goggle noise.
Yeah.
Oh.
Session 0 of Skyrit, and my character Armin wore goggles, these big ass goggles, and I mimed pulling them and then letting them go and slap against my face, and the noise I made, I have not been able to recreate. But no one looked at me and was like, that noise was fucking great. I was
like, that's perfect. I could picture it.
For the life of me, I cannot recreate that noise.
Like,
also, just so the editor can,
that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Drag the noise back. Strahd, spoiler alert. Editor can just copy that and paste it right before you start talking.
Editor, don't do that.
Editor, please.
Tap-in.
Well,
Tap-in's for us. Go on.
Beep boop battle.
Have you two thought of your answers?
Oh, I had mine.
Okay. Then Halia, what is your moment?
Wow. It's not very exciting at all, but it's just with Strahd. When we, like the last time we played, when we all just were in the fog and came to this, like, I think it's a crossroads, and we see Strahd, or just a person just standing there, and then it just, you like, that's Strahd. And I was just like, then he disappeared. And I was like, this is the beginning of something great. And then it, sad. We never got to
The
play
first
again.
encounter is so memorable because you're like, oh my god, it's dude on the cover.
Do the book.
And when I first played at that session at all, like that pre-made, I played a bard, which was not a good idea. But she got bit by him, and I don't know what happened with that. I don't know if she just died or if she's now a vampire, but it was great. I was like, this is really cool because everyone else was fighting, and then she was just like, because I guess like the vampire thing was like he charmed her, right? So she was like enthralled. And yeah, so I was like, these are cool. Strahd's cool. We love him.
I love Strahd.
Yeah, that was also like the character. Weren't you looking for your brother?
My sister, yeah, because an Oni.
Sister, I thought it was brother.
That was.
Oh wait, no, that was Hannah's character. I'm thinking of. Sorry. Yeah, I remember the Oni. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I remember the reason why I know vividly that it's Hannah's character is Hannah had a photo of him. Hannah's character.
Oh yeah.
And since Navid Shah, my character, I don't know if he was charmed or he was just an asshole, but he took it.
He was charmed.
And he ate the photo so that she didn't have it anymore. Mm-hmm. Ripped it
up.
Yeah.
The photo?
Mm-hmm. So she couldn't find it.
He was charmed by Strahd, and he was like, "I want you to sow some chaos in this group.
Yeah. So
I want you to keep an eye on them and tell me everything you know."
He took everyone's most valued like possessions that they wanted. He took the photo from Hannah's character, And since he's a smart dude who's done stuff like this before, he's like, they will never find the evidence I did this. So he tore it up and he swallowed it. Right?
Yeah.
I forget what everyone
Which is a really awful thing to do because
Yeah.
it's one of the only treasured possessions that she had.
100%.
I was playing. I think it was a gunslinger, by the way.
Yeah.
That's some Noah shit.
Some what?
Eating
Like, yeah. I maybe eat paper occasionally. Maybe take markers in my nose too.
You hungry? You hungry, Noah?
What is that?
Oh,
Feed me.
Well, I'm interested to hear from you, Alyssa. You got some time to think, and I want to know if you've come up with anything.
I really haven't. I'm struggling to think of a favorite
That's fair.
because I feel like
What-
most of like my good core memories with D&D have been like homebrew
Mhm.
Yeah.
because that's what we play more often.
Well, honestly, just share a moment from that.
Well, how many
This is
premates have
about
you played in?
Premade, bro.
Yeah. What premates have you played in?
Strahd,
Mhm.
Huh? Uh-huh.
Icewind Dale, 3 times.
Yeah. Yep.
Waterdeep like once.
Abyss.
Out of the
Abyss.
Abyss. You're right. You're so right.
What's funny about the Saltmarsh
True.
one too is the fact that when I went to you for you to describe your character, you were like, "I'm still thinking about it." So really, the only thing you were like, one of her arms is blacked out, and that was all we had to go on. So for me,
I don't even
it was
remember
just like an
if
arm
he ever looked like.
that was completely blacked out with ink, and then just like white, just like a placeholder.
Yeah. Just a mannequin.
I remember specifically because you were like looking down at like I think it was like a tablet or something like that, and I was like, "What does your character look like?" You looked up and you're like, "I don't know."
I don't know. Yeah, because originally I was just going to watch, and you guys were like, "You should make a character. You should make a character." So I made something very quickly, but I didn't get enough time to like visualize what they looked like. And Jesus Christ, bless you.
Now the
And
editor
because
can't
I'm-
cut that out because you acknowledged it.
No, we just okay. Now that we're putting more time into it, now we can't cut it out.
Editor, can you
Never.
replace it with a funny noise like honk honk?
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good.
Thought process gone.
Yeah. No,
But,
100% not. You're talking about
Yep.
your favorite moments.
Well, is there any moments for you, Ryan, that stick out that Alyssa's done?
I remember very vividly in Strahd. I remember very vividly the library scene because I remember thinking, well, thank God none of us are gonna like cast like Burning Hands or something. And then Alyssa's turn comes and she goes, I'm gonna cast Burning Hands, and I go, 'cause I was
Yeah,
like,
I think I remember that now.
it's a fully wooden library with a bunch of books, and I was even like, I want to cast.
Yeah, burn the book.
I was like, I want
Burn
one of
the
these
book.
books because I can re-engineer it to be on my side or something like that. And I watched them all gone. And then the moment they ensued was very cinematic because Jonas's character was he had this whole like, I'm not a hero. I can't be a hero after the things I've done. And he had this whole cinematic moment where he's like, you have to live because you're a hero. And he jumped through the fire to save you. He had a very edgy character. But he was a cool character, very cool character. And that's kind of what stuck out for me is the fact that you fucking decimated an encounter with a bunch of animated like books and like furniture with a single cast of fucking Burning Hands.
Also,
and the most cinematic moments of that session. So
yeah, that's definitely a moment. That's
also at the end of that
also
at the end of that not the one shot, the prelude, my character was going fucking crazy because of the house, and he was like, I'm gonna kill everyone, and he got everyone paralyzed because he of the stuff at dinner, he took it out of the food and turned it into a paralytic poison, and he paralyzed everyone.
He was an artificer,
and he was about to kill everyone laid around. And Drakon will put an end to that with 2 firebolts. So
Yeah.
For the record, my
Thankfully.
character's name was Leslie. He had a 7 strength and a really low con, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
he
is
almost
back in the
killed-
day when we didn't re-roll low stats, and I was just like, "Sucks to be you."
don't even get me started on that. I'm not even joking when I say this. Most of the characters that I've played for full-scale D&D campaigns have had below a 60 stat total. I'm talking all 10s and below, okay? And
I remember there was one character you had named Snow, who I think he had one stat that was a plus.
Yeah, one stat that was a plus, and it was a 12. And it was a 12 in charisma, and the rest were 9s and 10s.
And my ass was like,
sorry.
The
feeling's
there's the rolls.
The feeling is so bad when you're a player and you roll your stats, and then you have to look your DM in the eyes and go, "My stats are really bad," and them to go, "You gotta live with it, buddy."
Yeah, thankfully I've gotten.
And the most vividly
I've gotten
is fucking
better.
Jonas looked at me in the eyes when I had a really low stat total and went, "That's what ability score improvements are for." You want him to play through 3 levels to get up to a +1 in a stat.
Yeah, to be normal. But I remember the opposite of that. You played a character called Armin who didn't have lower than a +3.
Yeah, all of them were +3, and he didn't get a +4 or anything. I'm not even joking, by the way. It was all 17s and 16s. And the highest that he got was an 18 in his strength.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Of them.
But even still, he wasn't even that broken.
No.
So, oh my God.
Topic
he got his ass fucking, beat up, spanked
a lot. Yeah.
He got the chance to. Talking invisible ball girls behind me all the time.
You do a lot of damage, and the enemies definitely noticed that.
Yeah, he was a hunter ranger. Well,
yeah.
I'm kind of curious what everyone's favorite NPC or player character has been from a pre-made. So I'm talking, maybe you just really like Strahd.
Who doesn't?
The Burgomeister. Who doesn't like the Burgomeister? Cough up your balls, old man. Or
that's a story.
Another player character that you've seen, even your own.
You can't just say cough up your balls.
Going over that?
We can explain that story in a bit. I just wanted to give some more pretext to the story I had, what you guys are thinking. So in Strahd, by the way, this is now the Strahd. This is the Strahdcast.
You just want to fucking...
This is the Strahdcast.
This is the Strahd episode.
Peep the title of our very own Strahdcast. Jonas, the iconic man that he is, he played a character called Cade Greenbottle. Okay? And he...
Fantastic character. Probably top 3.
And not only did he kill 3 party members, I'm talking 3, and people still let him travel with us.
Yeah.
He looked at the leader of Vallaki in the eyes while he was surrounded by guards and dogs and his big fucking right-hand man that has a gross fucking green armor or something like that, right? And he looked at him and said, "You're pretending everything's all right when it really isn't." And something along those lines was a big spiel, and it ended with, "I think you need to suck it up and cough up your balls, old man." And the Burgomeister was like, "What?" And then Cade, without a second thought, plunged his rapier through the Burgomeister's chest. Didn't even give him a second to go okay. The Burgomeister was like, "What the fuck did you just say?"
The leader of the city.
And Cade stabbed him in the street.
Middle of the square.
And
the best part is, when you guys first got there, your character, Ryan the Paladin, was like, let's try to make allies with this guy.
Yeah. Let's make allies.
Never happened.
Down. Well,
cut the Cade stabbing him in the chest.
He's actually called the Burgomeister.
Yeah.
Burgomaster.
The
Burgomaster. Ryan says Burgomeister all the time. And I let it go. I let it say it.
That's the name of the fucking Robert McDonald's character?
Yeah, that's a McDonald's mascot. What the fuck are you talking about?
That's Mary Cheese you guys are talking about.
The burger? No, it's Burgo, not burger. The Burgermeister.
I'm just a dumb Canadian, okay? I'm not European. They use Burgo Masters over there.
No way, let's try to get back on topic and let somebody else speak for the moment.
I was just letting you guys think. We'll start off with Alyssa this time because I feel like you waited too long every single time. So what's your favorite NPC?
I asked for more time the last time. Can I say my own character because I'm a biased little bitch?
That's totally an option.
Me.
Me. Just kidding. I think recently it's been Ares, because being a ranger, a Gloomstalker ranger, has been more fun than I've initially anticipated, and I enjoy her. She's a little sass bucket, and she's in this party with fucking Beyonce.
Ryan turned on his fan. His hair is blowing wildly in the breeze.
Thank you for
Hey,
describing
you,
it for audio
baby.
listeners. Can you stop?
I'm gonna live
I'm gonna put it
forever.
back on the ground. Actually, I'm gonna put it on my lap.
You have to hold it together,
I'm
Alyssa.
sorry. I'm
Ares,
sorry.
the
My
Sass
brain's
Bucket
small.
Ranger.
Yeah. Ares the Sass Bucket Ranger. She's a half drow in Out of the Abyss. And she was from Baldur's Gate originally. Ayo, Baldur's
Yeah.
Gate.
Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's
mention.
Gate. Baldur's Gate mention.
Baldur's Gate.
And yeah, it's been a lot of fun playing her because she's dope. And also the party's very chaotic. So having her interact with like the party has been so fucking funny.
This is for Out of the Abyss, by the way.
Yeah,
That's the
it
one
is.
with Wicker and Hallie plays a character named Curie.
Mhm.
And they bounce off each other like two toddlers who just had like 500 milligrams of sugar. Okay.
That's true.
And to have Ares in the
Yeah.
background, like
Hey.
the dad who hasn't had his black coffee at 5 a.m. yet. In the background,
She's
going,
matured. She's matured. She has a baby now.
it's very
You're
funny.
not-
you got a pet guinea pig.
Yeah, you think you're
Yeah.
mature, but really you're just like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's mature now.
no.
She has another life to take care of.
Well, I think that's a
Did
great
I just say him?
It's only not fun when Evan takes over my character and I kill the party.
Yeah,
but,
when the
attempt to
blackness
kill the
starts
party,
pouring
bro. It
in.
ain't even a challenge. We throw a couple fire bolts at you and you go down.
Hey Ryan, you gotta stop with the fan.
What's wrong? What's wrong with it?
You look like that
Don't-
dinosaur,
don't-
like the like.
You look like Johnny Test.
The frilled lizard?
Yeah, that spits like
Dude.
venom.
Yeah.
I know what we're gonna do today. I know this means some fur.
It's Dookie.
Dookie. I wanna fucking.
Also, that's from Phineas and Ferb.
I know. I just said that. Okay. Anyways,
That's
Ares is a
two
great character, so
references.
let's hop over to
Yeah.
Hallie. What's your favorite character from a pre-made? It doesn't have to be a player character. It could be an NPC.
Does that involve animal companions?
It could, yeah, very well be.
Dakota.
Dakota.
Dakota
Yeah,
is my boy.
that's my
He is
first
my
thought.
son. He is my baby. He is
Dakota's
a snowy owl bear that I had when we first played Icewind Dale, because when you play Icewind Dale, you get these like extra background things, I think.
You get little
Yeah.
secrets.
Secret,
Yeah.
that's what it is. And mine
like them.
was that I could like befriend owl bears
Bear
or something.
Whisperer.
Yeah, I'm so cool. So I got us an owl
Season
bear
1.
and named him Dakota.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Hell
And
yeah.
Strahd.
And for the
and
record,
Strahd.
I did allow him to join combat, but only after she spec 3 or 4 levels into Ranger.
Oh my god.
Before, he would just laze around because he was a fat fucking owl bear who liked to just lay around, eat food, get belly rolls.
He's not fat.
Rude.
He's
No,
goofy.
that's
He's
no.
kinda
Hey, no.
fat.
He's got a lot of
as
wings.
a
and
DM,
fur.
I specifically remember going, "This is gonna be a lazy fat fuck owl bear," so he doesn't join combat because I was like, "That's completely throwing the balance away." But after you reach level 4, he trimmed out a bit.
He's my boy.
Yeah, he was just lazy.
And
my
yeah,
God.
Dakota had I think the one of the coolest, I guess not coolest, but one of the when you think of D&D, you think of these moments. And it
Oh.
was we were going to one of the castles in one of the 10 towns, one of the leaders of the 10 towns to speak with them, and he was hosting this big dinner party or something.
Mhm.
And a part of that was he wanted to get everybody in, and that included Coda. So
Everybody.
Yeah, we dressed Coda up in like a dress or something.
Yeah, Coda
We brought her in.
and Jonas's character's companion Shira or something.
Yeah, he was a leopard or panther or something.
Yeah.
You guys were going to Carnaval, and you were like, we're gonna sneak in. He had a snowy leopard named Shiva or something like that.
Yeah, and they really let them in.
And Hannah's character rolled a
That's
natural
so
20.
funny.
It was so good.
Disguise check.
It was incredible.
And as a DM, it was one of the moments where I forfeited, and I went, "This is not one of the serious moments of this. I'm trying to make like a serious campaign." And you know what? Fuck it. I remember them walking in, and like all the party goers were like, "Ooh, look at those people over there."
They were the talk of the town.
They were out there. One of them had their head in a fucking punch bowl and was just
Yeah.
That was
slurping it up.
Yeah, and
Fancy.
another Icewind Dale spoiler.
So
Carnaval is full of cultists.
Yeah.
And it was really funny just seeing a bunch of cultists go like, "Look at those guests!" Like,
oh my,
find.
Yeah, it's just the things you could do with D&D.
Oh,
yeah.
So it's one of the most fond memories I have of D&D, especially because I was just like, you know what? I had this whole serious dinner planned, but I don't even want that anymore. I want it to be this.
Bold of you to assume that you can do serious in this group.
And honestly,
Mm-hmm.
I'm so happy it wasn't serious because I feel like that moment would have been forgotten if it was. Like, that was...
Yeah.
Speaking of dressing things up that should not be dressed up, Mixless is another one. Mixless is my character.
We can't stop yapping about homebrew.
No, we can't. I'm sorry. Oh, it's pre-made.
Yep. Unless Jonas has something to say to us.
Never mind. Coda and Strahd.
There you go.
Oh, and sorry. I'll stop. I'll just say 2. It's okay.
Well, I can see
We
the
will
allure of
never
Coda.
know.
Coda was fucking great. I love that guy. Especially like every time you guys would go lay down for like rations, and it would be like he'd be like glaring at you from like across the fire, like, "Give me that fucking fish you're eating right now." Like,
Was Coda a guy or a girl?
Guy.
Ambiguous.
Guy? Okay.
Oh, well,
I never
who knows?
said, so I just
And no one knows owlbear anatomy.
not that it didn't
I
really matter,
pictured
so.
he was a boy.
Yeah, Coda's a big guy, and I just thought it was super fucking funny that he just sit there laying on his side, drooped out like a fucking like deflated balloon, waiting for you to feed him a fish.
Yeah, they were very Baloo and Mowgli, because Harlow, my character, who was the Whisperer, would like sleep on him.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit's comfy. It's like a feather bed.
absolutely, it was wonderful.
Feather bed and a water bed mixed together.
Yeah.
We-
Oh my god, that reminds me of a fucking character that you played for Waterdeep, Noah. Or no, it was Princess of the Apocalypse. Remember Whiskey? Whiskey? You remember Whiskey, the rat?
Oh my god.
Fucking
Yes, this is
disgusting.
a homebrew. It wasn't Prince's. It was for
it was homebrew?
it might have been Dungeon of the Mad Mage,
Oh, no,
or
it was not Dungeon
it was
of the
one
Mad
of those. Yeah, it was Dungeon or something, and I played a character named Rasta, I believe, who was a druid who was
It was Waterdeep.
homeless, and he would go to wherever he he would sleep wherever he could, take whatever he could, and he had the urchin background, and a part of that is you get a little animal companion. And the thing I described was just imagine the fattest fucking rat that you could, covered in like grease, his hair's all matted, and one time he ordered a drink, took a sip, and just took the fucking rat and dropped him in. I was like, drink up, my guy. He earned it.
Yeah, the worst part is the way he described it when he was laying flat was like he was deflating, and it was the most repulsive fucking thing I've ever imagined in my life.
He was a little guy. I
He ordered,
loved
like,
him.
You ordered a keg, and he jumped in it, and everyone was like, "We're not drinking out of that." And Rasta put his fucking head in it.
Yeah, Rasta was he was a bit gross, but it's part of the charm, I guess.
Well, no,
I'm picturing that fat rat from Ratatouille.
Yeah. Biggie Cheese? No, that's not Ratatouille.
That's Barnyard. Biggie Cheese is real.
That's
No,
fine.
what's your favorite NPC?
This answer's gonna come as a shock, even to me, I would say, because I don't know. This is the first one that came to mind. It was Icewind Dale, the recent Icewind Dale. It was a man in a tavern
Oh,
in one of
fuck.
the few cities that we went to. He was a
Oh,
Canadian, eh? And
wanna
he
change
would
my answer.
he would make fish, and he had a stew that he would always come around and give people. And my
Yeah.
character was a cook, and he really bonded with George.
Yeah.
And it was just they made stew together, and
Yeah.
he helped him make his stew.
And the best, I think, one of the best moments of George solidarity, I stand with it, was when you guys were like, "Oh, we can't get a room here," and he was like, "Oh, that guy's got rooms." And you watched him walk across the bar, talk to the dude, and when the dude like shook his head, George like grabbed him by the fucking collar, and he got
Hell
you guys
yeah.
a room. But yeah, it was
God,
a
I
perpetual
loved that.
stew.
Yeah,
Bro.
Hey, George,
yeah. This is
That party.
I
was great.
imagine George the way he looked as the dude from Open Season. Here, I'll add or put him in. I'll find a photo.
Boom.
There's
Uh,
a
George-
human in open season.
George is
Hmm.
a great fucking character, despite being another character off the top of the head. I'll say that much.
That was the
Bob,
best.
I was like, he's just a guy who makes like knucklehead trout stew,
Oh,
And-
yeah.
stirs it every day, tosses new shit in, so on and
Yep.
so forth. Right?
I think it was maybe just because of the character I was playing. It was John Baker. He was a cook who did not want to adventure, but a fae from the Feywild, like a big fae,
Archfey?
powerful fae wizard
Sealy
thing.
Court?
Yeah, archfey, a powerful archfey.
Oh,
There you go.
He was a big gambler. The archfey made a gamble that he could find the most normal person and make them a hero.
Nice.
yo.
And John motherfucking Baker, dude, just baked. He lived in a
Hero's
village,
hero.
and all of a sudden he was dropped at Icewind Dale. And thankfully, he had somebody to connect with.
Oh my god, when you said dropped in Icewind Dale, I'm picturing when you make a like a wee me and you like
Yeah.
pick them up
Yep.
and the little dangly little
Yep.
just drop
Yep.
them.
Oh, I want to change my answer now.
All right.
Fuck. Can
Change
I?
it. There ain't no rules to this.
Rhea from Icewind Dale Take 3. She was an Azmar barbarian. I love that bitch. I love that bitch so much. She was from the realms of the fucking gods. She was the embodiment of radiance, and she was just a bad bitch. And I loved doing the accent. And yeah, she had like the fucking vibe of like I'm trying to think of the person, but it's gone. But she didn't care. Like everything didn't phase her. And
Yeah.
she's great and I love her.
I love my character.
Yeah, we all loved her too. She was great.
Take 3 was great.
That was so
I got a
good.
question, Noah.
Too bad we got rocked.
Because my favorite
Wait,
character
rock.
is from Strahd, but I forgot his name. Is it Isaac? The guy who got
Yes, Isaac. No, wait, no, Isaac. Who?
You know, the guy he had
Oh,
beads of fireball.
a moment.
Just because I'm just gonna cut this bit out real quick. I'm not gonna ask the next question because we already have 56 minutes, so we can just talk for a bit after this. After I answer this,
What's the next question?
what's the
No.
saddest end of a pre-med you've experienced?
Ismark.
Ismark?
Think so. Isaac was the dude with the big hand. Let me look it up. I'm typing. I'm typing.
Wait, I thought the dude with the big hand's name was Ivan.
Yes, Ismark Kolyanovich.
Okay. I
Isaac.
thought-
The dude is Isaac Strasny.
Oh, I thought that guy's name was Ivan.
Oh my god, the fucking
Nah.
names go so hard.
Real.
Ismark, without a doubt, made a huge impact on our Strahd group, and also as a character, Noah really elevated him to a very empathetic character where you're like, man, I'm really rooting for this guy. You know, he's just like a normal fucking dude. He likes getting drunk, and he's looking for, why was he traveling with us? Actually, I think he was looking for.
You guys met him in the bar,
Yeah, he was looking for a family member.
and
Let's go.
he wasn't looking. He was like, I have a daughter who wants to head to Valaki. Do you think you could help me? And that's when you met Her name.
Irina?
There was a name I almost said. Yeah. What'd you just say?
Irina?
Irina. Yep. Irina Kolyana.
All I know
Names.
is I love that guy, and after he unfortunately got killed while we were playing, due to 14 direwolves. I remember
It's the rolls.
my character took up his sword and he fought with it. Actually against Strahd when Strahd pulled up once, and you have to pick a party member to die. No, that was before actually. I remember now. But there was another moment where he was fighting against Strahd and he pulled out Ismark's sword and he was like, "I'm going to get revenge for what you did to Ismark." And it made a lasting impact on the party, especially Cade. In
Yeah.
fact, Cade.
I think it was the first time
Jonas-
I've seen.
Oh, you're gonna say?
Oh, I think it was the first time I've seen Jonas cry in a session.
I think that's the first time we saw anyone cry in a session where Jonas.
Yeah,
Cry?
it was. Yeah.
He broke
Yep.
down, put his head in his shirt, and he had to leave the room after.
Got really,
Ismark died.
really into character, and even I was like, "Was that bad?" And Jonas was like, "No, dude, I really got really into it. That was great."
You really got into character.
Wait, what happened?
Well,
Strahd, you take it.
so we got assailed by 13 direwolves, and
Oh.
the first one to wake up was Lathander, and Strahd was standing there, and he was like, "All right, I'll let you guys live, but you got to pick someone to die out of your party." And of course, Lathander, being an honorable paladin, was not about to pick somebody to die. So he pointed at Strahd and he was like, "You will die." And I remember that was one of the first moments where I really felt fucking awesome because Lathander, his whole thing was he had the ancestors as his he's a god, which is a in the back of the player's handbook. I forget, it's something, it's like the spirited ancestors or something.
Yeah, it's an
And
elven
it was
thing.
It was 1,000 like green spirits that like reinvigorated Lathander. He went back up to full HP, and it was just a slugfest between him and Strahd. And unfortunately, obviously, Lathander fucking got his ass kicked. And also, just for anybody listening, Lathander is not named after the god Lathander. I just combined two names from.
That was a
player's handbook.
coincidence.
It
Yeah.
was Luth and Ander, and I was just like, I'm gonna put those together. And it was hyphenated in the middle. There's a whole thing. But yeah, it was. And at the end of that, of course, Lathander lost, and he picked. Strahd himself picked Ismark to die, and from that moment forward, that impact on the party was huge, and we were like,
Yeah, the worst thing is, he wasn't going to kill the person that you said. He was going to let them know that Lathander would have killed you and then leave, but he was never going to actually kill. But Lathander showed great promise, and he actually fought against Strahd, and Strahd was like, I'm going to take you down a peg.
mm-hmm. But that
Yep.
was really a driving force for that party of like, we're gonna get back at Strahd because he fucking killed Ismark.
Yeah, and it was awful, because, yeah, Lathander woke up, looked around, he was like, who's dead? Who's dead? What's going on? And they heard creaking above him,
The rope creaking.
and, yeah,
Yeah.
it was,
Ismark was.
It was,
strung up in the trees.
Ismark.
Yeah, he was strung up in the trees.
yeah, I read it, but I believe even,
Awful.
a raven was pecking at him.
Yeah, pecking at his eyes. I think, in fact, like most of his face was fucking eaten already.
That's
It
awful.
was fucked,
Yeah,
but,
and we cut him down,
Um,
buried him, and in fact, I think we went back to his grave once as different characters and dug him up, and he wasn't there. But yeah,
maybe. It might have been someone else.
Why'd you
yeah.
dig him up?
Because we were.
They were new
different
characters.
Yeah, and we were like, this person might have supplies that we need.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why was Cade so like emotional though?
They grew
were they,
close.
like,
Cade, yeah,
along
Cade and Ismark got close when they first met, especially Cade and Irina.
Yeah.
I guess Cade's whole thing was he had a fascination with undead, and Irina had been recently been stalked by an undead, and Cade was like, I'll protect you. You'll be fine. And Irina is Ismark's daughter. And I guess he couldn't protect not her, but a portion of her that she loved. And I guess it got to him.
Were we helping her
Jeez.
carry a coffin somewhere?
It might have been Ismark's body.
No, there was when we left the town of Barovia. That was where we met her, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure if she had a cough or not. That
I
doesn't
think it
seem
was.
right.
I think it was her grandfather or something like that. She needed to move the body.
Yeah, I think there might have been. Yeah, maybe. Perhaps.
But all I know is that Ismark grew close with the party. He was a very likable character, and he made a lasting impact, despite the fact that I could barely remember. And you got to remember, this is like 6 years ago that this happened.
Yeah, a long time.
But he's definitely, at least the image of the image you showed us for Ismark, and the moment where we woke up and heard that creaking is ingrained in my head. But yeah, I think on that sad note, we should with some closing thoughts on pre-mades. Great places to start.
End it there.
Yeah, but I think if you're going to run a pre-made, don't be afraid to put your own spin on it. The first time I ran Icewind Dale, holy shit, did I put a lot of homebrew in there, and I think it was all the better for it. And also, if you don't want to, don't. Pre-mades are made; they're great. Maybe do some rebalancing if you think they're a little bit, because some of them are really fucking unbalanced. I won't lie to you.
I think the biggest advice I could give is don't be afraid. Mm-hmm. Do whatever you think's right, but just try it.
Yeah. We hope that you enjoyed listening to us babble and yap about some pre-mades. Joining us on the Strahdcast. Maybe even run Strahd on your own. Curse of Strahd is a great fucking campaign.
Thanks for listening to Noah and Ryan dogging for an hour and a half. Not an hour.
Yeah.
An hour. Well, me and Hallie over here.
We'll get you two
on
your own. Some podcast soon where you can kind of just do what you want.
No one's gonna watch that.
We'll have a meeting.
We saw how bad it was last time, honey.
Nah, we'll do it again.
I don't think it was that bad.
Yeah, it turned out really well, I think. But yeah, we are very happy that you joined us this week as well. And of course, where are my manners?
Yeah, get the character sheet out. I feel like you've been lacking on marking their stuff recently. You didn't mark it last time.
Because I've been marking it after the sessions.
Well, they're curious.
Do you guys believe these people? And honestly, I'm gonna toss a little bit extra gold your way if you don't mind. Okay.
Are you bribing them?
No. But it looks like he has level up.
Give them some healing potions.
Yo!
That makes people
we
happier.
talked about level 5 not too long ago, and I think it's kind of the general consensus of it's a great fucking level. You guys hit a great fucking level. Thank you so much for joining us this week. Honestly, we love to have a platform to just fucking yap, and we're glad that you guys tune in every week. Which you can tune in, of course.
Unless you're new here, then hi.
Here,
thanks for making it to the end of this.
Jeez, like you people are the blood through our veins, and we are very happy to have you here.
Thanks.
Thanks. If you're new here, our schedule is Mondays 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and Fridays for the thrilling Descent into Home's End, which is also 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
You should watch it.
It is.
It's
great.
really good.
It's alright.
God, it is so good.
Noah,
don't be humble.
Noah, stop humbling yourself.
Yeah,
it's alright.
It's great.
But yeah, thank you for tuning into this week's side quest, and we are very happy to have you back next time. We can see it already. The May Tribunal has granted us the gift of foresight. We'll see you next time.